The number one seeds took care of business last night. Texas and South Carolina took care of business with no issues. Does this make them the front runners to win it all? I'm gonna be real. I ain't even gonna talk about that Texas game because I didn't watch it. First of all, I had practice last night, and then when I got home and I saw the score when I was rewatching, or I recorded the TCU South Carolina game. So when I saw that score, I was like, it's not even worth it. But from what I saw, Texas took care of business and has been playing Texas basketball that since they lost to Vanderbilt, or in that SEC tournament, they have been taking care of business. And I'm telling y'all, Texas is on a mission, and they are not just on a mission to beat UCLA. They are on a mission to win the championship, and I believe that their chances are increasing with each and every game they play. I'm telling you, they got it 1 through 5, and then they have some depth on their bench as well. So Texas. That is, they are high on my list. And like I said, I know UConn is UConn. They are a juggernaut, but they got to get past South Carolina. But let's talk about that South Carolina TCU game for a little bit. So starting with the first quarter, we had TCU started taking it to South Carolina. They didn't care that they were South Carolina, but they punched them first. We see that Miles, which I thought could have caused some trouble. Miles picked up 2 quick ones rather quickly, 2 fouls that is rather quickly, and coach made an interesting decision to leave her in the game. Now, thankfully for them, it worked out in their favor, because if Olivia Miles picked up that 3rd foul in the first quarter, then they would have been in some serious trouble. But we see that TCU started to make a comeback because they had a 3-minute drought. And then, of course, South Carolina, being South Carolina, got going. We see that Raven Johnson, I cannot brag enough on her and just her growth over her years at South Carolina. But like my daddy used to say, big time players make big time plays, and Raven Johnson hit 2 big threes that gave South Carolina that momentum, because they had momentum scoring a couple of baskets, but then Raven hitting that first 3, and then that second 3, it shifted back to South Carolina. And so, that was, I'm tripping. That was the second quarter. All right. But let's go back to the first, because it pretty much kind of applies to throughout the game. But we see that Joyce Edwards made a difference in this game. And I know that Joyce is one of the best sophomores in the country, one of the best players in the country. But I have been saying this for a while. I want to see more out of Joyce Edwards. To me, she just plays too cool sometimes. I want to see that dog come out of her. I thought last night that she played well. I thought that she looked for opportunities to score. And I would like to see more out of her when it comes to being a difference. All right, and then starting the first quarter too, we not only saw Joyce, but this is who I would give the game ball to. Makir is a talented freshman who Don said is the most talented guard they have, both offensively and defensively. And all night long, she put her stamp on the game, and Makir was having her way going at it. I love to see her be confident and to be aggressive offensively, and that's what she did. And if South Carolina stands a chance against UConn, then these role players are going to have to step up. All right, so that was I've got for my first half highlights. I said Olivia Miles was having her way. Now I know she's good, but she was pretty much doing what she wanted to do. And so, yeah, she was having her way. I put that Joyce Edwards, Makir, and Raven Johnson all stepped up to the plate in that first half. We didn't see much out of Tessa. Wouldn't be until a little bit later we would see something out of her. But these 3 stepped up at different points of that first half and were the reason why they were able to go up on TCU and put them in the driver's seat. I thought that I was watching the podcast. They said they were playing good defense. Maybe I just wasn't paying much attention to it, but I guess it's because I'm used to watching Texas and I'm used to watching UConn, and both of them just get in you when they play defense. And I really didn't see that from either side as much. South Carolina does play good defense. I know that they do, but man, I'm gonna just be real. Texas defense and UConn defense is just everywhere. You always see them diving on the floor. You see them little ponytails going and they are just, they're just everywhere. But for the third quarter, I had South Carolina got a lot of good looks in my opinion, but they were not finishing well. Joyce Edwards wasn't finishing well. Okot wasn't finishing well. Raven, she got like 3 straight offensive rebounds. I didn't think that she was finishing well. So they were getting good looks, but they were not completing the basket. I said South Carolina not having the big they are accustomed to having. This was just a note that I made because, of course, been watching Okot. This is her first season at South Carolina. Before she was at Mississippi State, and then she played 2 years internationally. And I just wish that she could have spent all 4 years at South Carolina, because I think she's 6'7". Imagine the beast that she would have been if she would have been at South Carolina all 4 years. But you can see that she is behind. She almost looks kind of awkward, but in her defense, she didn't start playing basketball until she was 17 years old. So you can see that her body's not all the way there yet. As far as, does she have the physical, does she have the body? Yes. But as far as it just coming together and it not being awkward and her still being need to get stronger, it's just not all the way there, which is why I believe that South Carolina will not win the championship this year, even though that's who I'm going for. I hope that they do. I hope that they prove me wrong. But in those championship runs, they just had that dominant big, and I just don't see that from them this year. Also had that Makir continue where she left off in the first half. Makir was, like I said, having her way. Even the commentators recommended, or they didn't recommend, but they commented on how she was just confident, and she had confidence oozing out of her, and you love to see it. So Makir, going into the fourth quarter, she had 16 points, and now we see Tessa come into the picture. Tessa did not score until 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, but then she got hot, and when Tessa gets hot, she gets hot. And I mean, her shot is just pretty. She shoots it at 45%. I think that's number 5 in the country, number 5, number 3, something like that. But that's what I'm talking about when I say a shooter. To me, a shooter, a 3-point shooter, is shooting at a clip of 40% or higher. And Tessa is just, when she shoots, you think that it's going in. So that's a shooter, in my opinion. One of the things that South Carolina had 44 points in the paint in comparison to TCU's 20 points. Most of the time, that the team that dominates the paint like that is going to win. And we saw how that benefit South Carolina. TCU wasn't scoring. I think something happened with Olivia Miles' leg. I think she was cramping or whatever. Maybe it was more than that. But when she went out pretty much, and she wasn't, I guess, 100%, which nobody's really 100% around this time. But, I mean, it definitely affected her, and then it affected TCU and that. But listen to this. Olivia Miles is that girl. And I know we talked about Hannah Hidalgo, but those two on the same team is absolutely crazy. But I mean, I'm not mad at the fact that she went to TCU because she had to do what she felt was best for herself. I understand Notre Dame being Hannah's team, but just those two together, bananas, crazy. But I think it says a lot about the both of them, because both of them made it to the Elite 8 with different teams, and let's be real, neither team is really that strong. So I think that is a testament to the caliber of players they are and how both of them make the players around them better. You love to have players like that on your team who are not selfish but make their teammates better. But going back to what I was saying, listen to this stat. Listen to these stats for Olivia Miles in her career. She has 2,174 points, 878 rebounds, 906 assists. That is bananas. You know, the player who's been given a lot of notoriety this tournament, who we have talked about and we've talked about throughout the season, who is Texas's all-time leading steals leader? That's right, Rory Harmon. Listen to Rory Harmon's stats. Rory Harmon has 1,500 points. Olivia Miles has 2,174. Rory Harmon has 600 rebounds. Olivia Miles has 878 rebounds. Rory Harmon has 900 assists. Olivia Miles has 906 assists. So we're talking about Rory, but Olivia Miles is up there, right up there with her. And honestly, I think that she has a more complete offensive game, and she's bigger than Rory Harmon. Not too much on being too much bigger though, because I ain't the biggest. So mighty things come in small packages. So I'm just saying that. But the difference is that Rory Harmon has 350 steals. But if you look at those stats, then Olivia Miles is either right there or she surpasses. I think she surpassed Rory in all of those other statistics. Now, Rory has played with some elite talent, but that's besides the fact. The point I'm trying to make is that Olivia Miles is that girl, and I believe that we should be talking about her even more. Just her playing style in itself is just on another level. The way she sees the floor, the way she gets her teammates involved, she is a force to be reckoned with, and her game translates well to the next level. But I'm going to say what I say about most of the players who go to the next level. Where I feel like that she is going to have to improve is the strength. When you play against grown women, it's just different. And the WNBA is full of grown women. Grown women's strength is just different. So I would just work on that as she goes into the next year. And of course, that 3-ball. But anyway, that's the recap that I had from TCU and South Carolina. Not too much on Texas, Michigan, because that was a blowout. But we got some good games coming up. Is it Saturday, I believe, or Friday? Friday. We got all number 1 seeds in the Final Four. So who will prove to be the overall number 1 seed? Who do you guys have? Anyway, I can't wait to see it. So be sure that you guys are tuning in Friday. As always, I appreciate y'all watching.